So it's Saturday, September 19th. It's still just barely morning. I've come up here to Lewis's to look at the Milo. It looks to me like it may work out to where we can come in here and cut the middle of this that gets sunlight the best and leave the outside, and maybe it'll mature more. As you can see, it stuff on the inside is way more ready. See, these here heads are really green yet. Still way too green. And there'll be some grain on them, but if you go in about, well, right there, maybe just one round around the outside. This stuff out here looks like it's pretty close to ready to go. Of course, then you've got sucker heads that come up, but those hardly have any seed on them yet, and so they'll just go on through. See a few sucker heads got some seed on. There's some seed in here that's still kind of green. That one there's gonna be still kind of green. But I don't know any other way of getting around it. We're gonna look at what the other one down there looks like, but a lot of this looks like it's getting pretty close. Of course, I'm busy till Tuesday. Would be the earliest I could get it, and they're giving us a 0 rain forecast. Some of them, like this one right here, looks kind of like the birds are eating the tops out of them. But I've seen more deer damage down there on the far end than anything else. So that's what Lewis's looks like. I gathered me a couple of heads. Those was ones that was actually just broke over. Thought I'd take them to the house and see if they would thresh out very easy. I don't know what it's going to be like. It's kind of one of those guessing games, especially when I'm doing this for myself, my own feed. And I've got a way to put some air on them. I don't think that's going to be a huge problem, but and probably if I figure to cut it later in the day, it won't take very long to get over this with a 12-foot cut head. And so if I figure to start at say 3 o'clock, it'll be drier at 3 than what it would be at noon for sure. So there's what it looks like here. I'm gonna go get some at the Church House 42 and we'll give you a look at some of that. We're up here at the Church House ground, and I want to show you this little spot. If you look at these plants like that one right there, that's obvious to me that's bird damage. So just about the time it's almost to get ripe, the birds are moving in on it and killing us here. They probably picked maybe half of the seeds off from a bunch of this in this one spot. I think it's because there's trees close, but these out here around the edge, more than that. They have picked more than that off from them. I may go ahead and come up here and wait till Tuesday and come up here and see what I can cut out of this and let Scott mow it after that and put whatever up in silage he wants to get. This is there's more to this field. There's probably maybe 2 acres here though. It's not big, but we weren't doing anything else with it. It's a little bit rocky. Sure wouldn't want to have to go over it twice in a year with a mower. Crabgrass come in it real good. Of course, we fertilized it really heavy, and that's made the grass come in there better. And what do you reckon's around here? What do you reckon? Something else might be eating on these. Might be. Well, that's what it looks like. Scott's over mowing some hay. I might go check on him here. On to the next one. So I stopped here to shut the gate, and I thought I'd throw these rocks off that I picked up out of that hayfield down in here that we baled. So that nobody says that I don't pick up the rocks out of my hayfield. These are some that we turned up baling those little fields. we'll just let the county rough them up for a little while. Well, here's the comparison on the heads. These are from the Lewis place. These are kind of out in the middle more where that was, and you can see I beat that one on the rack here some and got some fall off from it. These heads were some of the ones I knew weren't ripe from down at Church House 40. This one here, it hardly has any seeds on it. I don't know whether it's been picked by the birds. I really don't think so. I kind of think it and this one here are sucker heads. And then there's some of them pretty nice. That one is, I was halfway to almost to my elbow. But then we got a lot of it out there just like this, and we're pretty sure this is deer damage. Anyway, there you go. That's what they look like. A few days away yet, at least. Maybe we'll look at it again Tuesday. Hope the wind isn't a problem. We're here. That's one of Scott's little hay jobs. He gets to bale, and we're giving this Gehl 1475 a try. We've done quite a little bit of figuring out to it and some little repair that we knew we needed to do, but it turns out that the little spring that causes the deal to set, to be able to cut the string off, is not working. The spring was broke, and I thought, well, we might be able to bend another loop on it, and it's one of those coil springs that puts pressure on a rod by being wrapped around it and hooked in one spot and then hooked on the rod, and so that's just not going to work. And you probably can't hear him, may not even be able to see him, but Dakota's raking the other side of them trees. You got 2 or 3 little patches over there to rake, and Scott's got started baling on this. But we've identified another spring that's not working on the baler. It's got a deal. It's got rods that stick down between the belts that stops the hay from coming back up the front and getting wrapped around the rollers in the front, and it goes all the way up every time. And it's got 2 return springs, and they're the same kind of coil springs except they're heavier, wrapped around the outside of it, on the outside of the baler. And one of those is broke, so that won't return. So every time he makes a bale, I'm cutting his string off and returning his little hay stopper is what I'm calling it. So I've been busy doing that, but it's making nice looking little bales. I think he's only making about 4.5 foot tall. We was planning on wrapping this and trying to make a little high moisture hay, but it's way too dry already, so I don't know if he'll wind up wanting to wrap it or not. But that's what we're doing. Sorry about the shaky video. I've been at this since about 1 o'clock, and it's getting really close to 3 to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. He's on his 8th bale. But it takes quite a little bit of figuring out. I'm hoping this will help us in the spring when we really do get to baling some high moisture hay, that we won't have these bugs to work out. And so this is Monday, by the way. All the previous footage I put on here about my checking the Milo was on Saturday morning, and this is Monday afternoon, and they mowed this on Saturday morning. Scott mowed it. So every time he makes a bale, I'm chasing him on the 4-wheeler and cutting his string off for him when he ties it. He's on his last round around this deal. Just a little bit of cleanup. Had a couple of wad ups in a row before he figured that other thing out. See if I can do close up again. Yeah, he's using Identity Crisis. Still working on his tractor. I did get my tire fixed. Just haven't got to put back on there yet. Ran a deer antler through the left rear tire there. Got it fixed out in the field, but well, it's just about time for me to go cut his string, so maybe we'll, I don't know if he'll want to go ahead and wrap these or not. He may, and so maybe I'll get some video wrapping later. We did get finished with that hay, got it all baled and hauled to Scott's bale lot, and we wrapped all of it. We had plastic for, but it was 2 that didn't get any wrap on them, so they made 20 bales. And I don't know, it was a good test run on that baler. And so I hope you enjoy these clips from the last couple of working days, and keep tuned in for what's next. Thanks for watching.